For perhaps thousands of years, people have gone missing in the vast wildernesses all across the planet. Not all of those cases can be easily explained, and some are even terrifyingly unexplainable. Hunters, hikers, backpackers, explorers. Some of these people have vanished without a trace in the deep, dark depths of the wilderness. Tonight, we will explore some of these cases. This is the Wilderness Mysteries. Duck hunting is one of many traditions that go back many generations. Father and sons get together and duck hunt. It's something that's especially popular in the country and coastal areas or wherever duck is prevalent. On today's episode of Wilderness Mysteries, we will look at a case of duck hunters who didn't make it back home from the hunt. Were they the hunted? The location for this particular incident takes place in Texas on November the 18th, 1936. The location is the King's Ranch, 800,000 acres of pristine ranch with a river and several streams running through it. Excellent duck hunting property. On this particular day, Luther Blanton and his son John Blanton had decided that they wanted to go on a duck hunt. The Blanton family owned property adjacent to the King's Ranch. On the afternoon of November the 18th, 1936, Luther and his son John grabbed their shotguns and headed towards the fence that bordered their property and the King's Ranch for some afternoon duck hunting. Around the time it took for the two hunters to arrive at their destination, it was reported that several gunshots could be heard. Now, at the time, no one thought this unusual, as the men had set out to go duck hunting. As the evening approached and darkness began to fall, the family of the two hunters had become concerned, as they had not arrived back home yet. Eventually, the Texas Rangers would be called to do a search and investigate what happened to these two hunters. Hundreds of people were questioned. Many thousands of miles were covered on the King's Ranch. Yet, in the end, the efforts were fruitless. The notion that the ranch security personnel may have had something to do with foul play and the hunters' disappearances had been talked about. However, after a thorough investigation, it was determined that this just simply wasn't the case. That no matter how zealous the security forces of King Ranch may have been. The evidence just was not there that they had something to do with the disappearance of these two men. Another interesting chapter to this mystery is that two other hunters mysteriously vanished not far from the Blanton's location. In February of 1936, Rivera and Reyes Ramirez were also duck hunting and were never seen again. King Ranch security personnel were cleared of any wrongdoing. They were those who suspected foul play from the security force. However, once again, it was proven that they had nothing to do with the disappearances of the men. The evidence just simply was not there. After an exhaustive search and lengthy investigations, no trace of either four of the hunters were ever found. How did these men just simply vanish without a trace? Perhaps we may never know what happened to these four hunters. But the one thing we do know, that the Texas Rangers consider this case still to this day to be a puzzling and enduring mystery. How is it that four well-armed men can vanish without a trace under ideal weather conditions in an area that is not even remote, an area that's easily searched, an area that's easily traveled, often traveled, an area that's secured by security forces? How do these men just simply vanish without a trace? Perhaps we may never know what happened to these four hunters. But the one thing we do know, that the Texas Rangers consider this case still to this day to be a puzzling and enduring mystery. And indeed, it is one more chapter of high strangeness of the wilderness mysteries. If you have not already done so, I would like to encourage you to go to Can-Am Missing 411, the website founded by Mr. Dave Pilates. He has written a series of books called The Missing 411. He is the pioneering researcher into these unusual cases, from our national parks to our rural areas. I encourage you to purchase his books. Go to his website, Can-Am Missing 411. The link will be in the description box below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Pilates' YouTube channel as well. Thank you for watching.